Hello Wellness, and we're just so excited to have Lisa do this presentation for us tonight. I've really been looking for an awesome weight loss product to complement our contour light sessions. And when she told me about this, I just got so excited because I think it's something the world has been waiting for, and it has been received so well. And there's just amazing study with scientific proof that this is really a good product. And Lisa has been in this game a lot longer than me, and she knows all about it. Lisa is a registered nurse, and she's also a mind body health specialist and speaker. She's really passionate about helping women release emotional, physical, and even spiritual congestion that manifest as a myriad of health and well-being concerns, which could include food and eating struggles and even body image issues. So Lisa used personalized mind-body activation techniques and all kinds of supportive strategies that help people then renew their mindset that's necessary to shift challenge into meaningful change. So, Lisa is going to share all about the GLP-1 hormone, what it is, and how this proven patent pending system work to activate your own biology to increase your own production of this key peptide like hormone to achieve weight loss and many other health benefits. So, Lisa is very qualified to address this topic. And without further ado, we'll let her tell us all about it. So,
Thank
all
you,
yours,
sweet.
Lisa.
Thank you. And I'm excited to share this craze that's gone on for the past few years with the GLP-1 mimicking shots has really put GLP-1 on our radar. So I'm really grateful for that, even though I'm not a real big fan of the shots. Because of how they're dosed and all, and the fact that they don't help our bodies achieve its own balance based on the design of the human body. I'm forever grateful that the pharmaceutical industry and the medical community put it on our radar because I was forced to deep dive because I had clients asking me, what is this? Can I do this? I want to do this, but I'm scared. And my friend had this issue, but she's lost all this weight and all this stuff. And I was like, ah. So in deep diving, I came across this system. And so I'm excited to share it with you. So I'm going to share my screen so that we can get started. And give me just a second here to get that for us. So we can take a peek. And that's this one. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so back up here. Gets a little excited. Okay. All right. So we'll start off talking just a moment about the company because if you're like me, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's some good stuff, and there's a lot of what I call crapola that's not real good stuff. And so I'm really picky about the companies and their history and how things come about. So I won't take long on this, but what I love about LifeVantage is that they are all about empowering your body to make its own goodies, its own antioxidants, proteins, enzymes, hormones, and the things that we do need for better health. And so their little hashtag is we hashtag take it to make it. And so they're giving the body they develop products that give the body what it needs to function the way it's designed to function, and that is super empowering and exciting to me. So that's just a little brief about that. And what actually put LifeVantage on the map is this one product called Protandem NRF2. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's been around since the early 2000s. It is patented. It has several patents it's been in like over 30, I think 32 peer-reviewed studies. It does what it says it does. It actually helps your body produce its own antioxidants, which are a million times stronger than any kind of supplement you can take, including vitamin C. It's your own body's powerful antioxidants. And so what the study did that proved that this product works is it actually showed that Protandim NRF2 reduces cellular stress, the stress within your very cells, by 40% in 30 days. That's huge. That's massive. Because cellular stress, oxidative stress, breeds cancer, breeds diabetes, breeds all kinds of health issues. So it's a very powerful product, and that's exactly why I wanted to share it because I want you to know a little bit about who LifeVantage is and what they're about, So very powerful product. We'll probably talk more about this one in a moment, but just a little background on this company. Healthy Glow. This is actually another product from this company. It also involves a liquid collagen that's proven to increase your body's own production of type 1 collagen by 100%, increases your own collagen by 100%, your own production in 8 weeks. So it's health as far as your skin, but it's also health for your joints, for your tendons, your muscles, all the things. Another really wonderful product with LifeVantage, and the two together are a powerhouse, and they call this stack Healthy Glow. It helps you make your antioxidants and your own collagen. Just a couple of quick testimonial pictures here. You can see very clearly how the skin is tightening up. It's more supple. It's healthier. And this is after being on the Healthy Glow stack. This one lady was 8 months, and you can see her skin is much tighter in her tummy, and this one with her chin. And then the guy, he's obviously lost weight, but his skin is much firmer and healthier looking. All right. So what else can we activate? We're going to get into a little bit of this GLP-1 now, okay? So GLP-1, what is it? It stands for glucagon-like peptide 1, and it is actually a naturally occurring hormone in the body. So I like to say that GLP-1 was God's idea first. And so we had the mimicking drugs, the shots, injections, things like that, that go in and kind of park in those receptor sites, but they don't do anything to help your body heal and seal the gut, to help your brain function better, your liver to communicate better, your pancreas to be, pumping out more sensitive insulin sensitivity, which these are just some of the things that GLP-1 does for the body. So we absolutely want to do what's superior and help our bodies to produce its own. So we get all these balancing effects. This side, it actually, it does act as a master metabolic switch. Most of us know the hypothalamus or the thyroid as being a master, metabolic switch, but GLP-1 is like even, it's like behind the scenes doing that on a deeper level and a broader level. It goes out to, like I said, many organs, all the different things that it does. And we'll talk more about that. At the very bottom of the graphic on this slide where it says GLP-1 is supposed to be released while we eat and then remain in our system for several hours after eating. There's actually a method to the madness where our bodies do certain things for certain reasons. We trip this trigger and it does this and it runs across this receptor and it causes this. I kind of see it as those little domino things that are falling, and all the things happen on purpose, intentionally, when that first one falls, is available and falls the way it's supposed to. So yes, the GLP-1 is very important. It is crucial in regulating blood sugar, appetite, and digestion. And we activate that or release that by actually eating. Sometimes food gets a bad rap, doesn't it? But we are designed to eat, I like to say. So speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about the hunger fullness hormone interplay. So GLP-1 is considered a hunger fullness hormone, but we have many others. So take a quick glance here, the GLP-1 and what it does, as well as the GIP. You may have heard of GIP if you're familiar with the shots, the tirzepatide, and I can't think of some of the brand names right now. Wegovy, I think, is one, Monjuro or something like that. They actually have both GLP-1 and GIP mimicking agonist effects to them. And so you get kind of a compounded benefit with the GIP. It also helps with blood sugar levels and nutrient balance, but it has a positive effect on lipid metabolism, so fats in the body, and cardiovascular function, bone strength, and cognition. And all four of these on this side, under the GLP-1 hunger fullness hormone interplay, are in your gut. They are produced and they function a good amount within the gut. And you can see that on the graphic on the opposite side. So CKK actually promotes satiety or fullness, satisfaction, and digestion by signaling your gallbladder to contract and release bile. And it also aids in protein digestion. This is just another one of your hunger fullness hormones. And then lastly, the peptide YY or PYY helps to reduce your appetite after eating. So see, they all kind of do similar things, but they do extra things. Some of them do extra things. So these four reside in your gut, are produced in your gut, and they don't reside there, but that's where they start rather. And as I mentioned earlier, the GLP-1 goes to many other places, and we'll talk about that. Underneath the graphic, you'll see leptin and ghrelin. You may have heard of these. It's your satiety or satisfaction hormone and your hunger hormone, respectively. And you can see on the graphic that where the leptin resides in your adipose tissue, and the ghrelin resides in your stomach, but they all communicate along the gut-brain axis, what's known as the gut-brain axis. And so, one is going off saying, okay, you can turn off the hunger up there. And so that's the leptin from your adipose when you've been eating. When you're eating, it's supposed to send a signal to the ghrelin saying, stop with the hunger signal. We've got food here. We're good. And just like we can override our blood sugar and insulin regulatory mechanism, we can override our leptin ghrelin regulatory mechanism, meaning when we eat when we're not hungry, when we eat when the body doesn't need food, we can dysregulate those regulatory mechanisms. And that does happen quite frequently. And we can have what's called leptin resistance as well. So I just wanted to stress some of this so we could see the importance of all these different hunger fullness hormones and the organs or systems they're associated with, but the fact that they all communicate with the brain. So we need a very healthy gut-brain axis and gut-brain communication line. Okay, and that gets dysregulated, and that also plays against us at times. So, why do we need GLP-1? Well, we've already talked a little bit about how it helps with blood sugar and insulin regulation. So, it does promote insulin sensitivity. As you can see from the graphic, it's really small print. I tried to enlarge it the best I could, but the pancreas, actually, when you have plenty of GLP-1, the GLP-1 actually signals the pancreas when you have food in your system to increase insulin sensitivity and production. And that's really good because the insulin has to go out and escort the extra glucose in the blood back into the cells. It actually holds the keys to unlock the cells. So we don't want insulin resistance. We want insulin sensitivity, and GLP-1 helps with that. GLP-1 also slows digestion, and this kind of freaks people out sometimes. They're like, whoa, I don't really want my digestion slowed. Well, we want it slow enough that the brain has time to register that we've eaten, right? So it turns off that hunger signal, but also just slow enough that we better digest and assimilate the nutrients we've taken in, and we stay full longer when the digestion is a little bit slower. We're not talking about slowing it down to the point that there's putrefaction in the gut. That's the other end of the spectrum, right? So we don't mind it being slightly slowed, just long enough to get the signal that we're full, and to keep us full for a bit, and then also to help us better assimilate those nutrients. So it does help to suppress the appetite a little bit in a positive way. Appetite is a good thing, right? We need to be signaled to eat. We would starve without food. Every cell in our bodies is dependent on food. So we must have food to keep the health of our cells and to build new cells. It does support cardiovascular health. So it's cardioprotective. GLP-1 is very important for blood pressure regulation and many other things to do with the heart. It does have an anti-inflammatory action in the heart. Also, it's neuroprotective. So our learning and our memory is somewhat dependent upon plenty of GLP-1 production and delivery. We want it optimized in the body. So neuroprotective, very important. And you can see the other organs that are involved that also benefit from GLP-1. You know, we've talked about the brain and the heart, the pancreas, but the GI tract, of course, and the liver as well. And your kidneys also are dependent on GLP-1 for certain things. So why do we need it? More on that. It is all about balance of blood sugar and insulin levels. And we've already talked about most of this on this slide, that it has that primary role in those things, but also it has a broader impact on health and aging. We talked a little bit about the neuroprotective benefits, cardiovascular, and it does help with decreasing cellular aging. So if our cells are healthier longer, we not only look better on the outside, but we're actually really pretty on the inside. We want healthy cells. It does have that ability to protect neurons, and so it does make it a really good candidate for tackling those cognitive decline issues that we have with aging and those diseases associated with the nervous system, such as Parkinson's. Okay, so GLP-1 actually has a role in something like that as well. Okay, let's move forward here. This slide talks a little bit more about the importance of how GLP-1 is activated when we eat. So we need it to be activated when it's released. And so it's activated through eating and drinking. And again, it runs as you eat and grind up the food, it crosses over certain hormone receptors, which triggers that release of GLP-1 and those other hunger fullness hormones that we noted a few slides ago. Let's see. Yes, it does tell the liver when we're eating and all to decrease the amount of glucose that's in the bloodstream, because the liver also provides a little bit of glucose. But if you've just eaten and you've had some, glucose released from your food, you don't need extra glucose from the liver. That would be overkill. And we talked about how it slows down digestion in the gut so that we have time to get that communication between the gut and the brain that we have eaten, and so that we don't overeat as well. And the bottom one area just talks about the right amount of insulin being released. So it does trigger those B cells in your pancreas to release the right amount based on what you've eaten, how you've eaten. More on GLP-1, just a little bit here, because I've had clients actually ask me, so if foods, trigger that release, then what foods are best? Well, your meat-based proteins activate it the most. Other vegetable-based proteins, and this just talks about how, if you have blood sugar issues, it's always good. It's good in general, but just to note the glycemic index versus the glycemic load. And then your good fats, and fats get a bad rap. We need good fats. Every cell in your body has a lipid layer. We need good fats, just like we need cholesterol. It gets a really bad rap. But your saturated fats, such as grass-fed butter, animal fats, coconut oil, and then your mono unsaturated fats, such as olive oil and avocado oil, these are really good GLP-1 activators in your body. And some fruits and vegetables do as well. All right. I could go on all night about that, but that's not the main reason we're here. But I just wanted to touch on the fact that, yes, there are some foods you can eat that help with your GLP-1 release, but you have to have plenty of it, and you have to have a healthy enough gut to produce it. And that's where the GLP-1 system comes in, the mind-body GLP-1 system. This is what Lizelle and I are so excited about. Number one, because in vitro studies, in human cell studies, it showed a 54% increase in GLP-1. That's when the company knew they were onto something, and they took it to human clinical trials. And in the 12-week human clinical study, we saw significant improvements. Look at this, increased GLP-1 production by 140% on average. And in about 8 weeks, about 9 pounds on average were lost by the participants, and up to 25 pounds in 12 weeks. And so I always tell clients, friends, family that, are starting on this journey, you've got to commit to 12 weeks, preferably 16, because what this thing is doing is helping to heal and seal your gut and reestablish the gut-brain connection and your GLP-1 pathway. So you want to give it time, even though you may not see something on the surface that's going on since you've been on it maybe for a couple of weeks, it's doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and it will come as evidenced by this study. And this is the whole reason why this system is patent pending, because it is proven, because it is the first and only at this point of its kind. One of the coolest things that makes practitioners like Lizelle and myself super happy is that no one in the study lost lean muscle. You may have heard the term Ozempic face, because many people who do the shots lose so much lean muscle. Many of them because they don't know they need to be doing extra things for the muscle. And then others, no matter what they do, they seem to lose lean muscle. So we just have to be super careful with that. Why do we want lots of lean muscle? Because we can actually weigh more and look like we're leaner. That's great. But the greatest thing is it's your strength and it's your metabolic power. You just have a lot of health in that lean muscle. And I like to shoot for at least 60% of your overall body weight being lean muscle, at least 60%. That's a great number to shoot for. So it's great that this system does not sacrifice any of your lean muscle. The next coolest thing, or maybe the actual coolest, is that the visceral fat, that dangerous fat we can carry in our torso around our vital organs, that leaves us vulnerable for diabetes, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, all the things, hormone fluctuations, and havoc, quite frankly, is that visceral fat. And with this system in the 12-week clinical trials, the participants lost up to 27%. That is substantial. And you'll see it in the photos here in a moment. Up to 27% in the visceral fat area lost, gone, poof. And no lean muscle loss. I have lost my cursor. I'm like, okay. There we go. I want to go back if it'll take me back. All right, here we are. Let me go back a second, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so 82% took back control of their relationship with food, and 95% experienced decreased sugar cravings. Who couldn't stand some of that in their lives? And at the same time, you are healing and sealing your gut, and you're getting all these benefits because of your own GLP-1 production. Not something parking in the receptor sites mimicking GLP-1 production. It does nothing to heal and seal your gut, nothing to neuroprotect your brain, nothing to improve true insulin sensitivity past the point of you taking those shots. Okay. Your relationship with food does contribute so much to how you look and feel, and how you feel about you and how you look, right? So relationship food is key, and we are born to eat. We are built to eat. We have taste buds and everything. So it's okay. I work a lot with clients that, there's this struggle, this battle, this love-hate relationship with food and eating. And I'm really happy to see that being restored with those that are on this system. So it does help you stop the toxic cycle of emotional eating and that diet culture. We have such deep indoctrination about dieting. I remember doing those stupid Jane Fonda workout videos when I was 12. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I was overweight as a child, a teenager, and my mom was always 104 pounds soaking wet. And so I always looked at her, because what do? We do this comparison thing, which is a straight up trap. And I would do those workout videos. So I have been dieting off and on, since I was like 12, and it's crazy. So I love that element, because I'm real passionate about that. I'm like, no, what are the first three letters in that word? Die. So now I'm big time against that. It does help crush those cravings, so you have less struggle with impulse eating, and really put you back in the driver's seat of eating and food and emotions even. We're seeing some huge shifts with that. Balance and freedom, better health and well-being, weight loss, but so much more, I like to say. Some of the things that I've specifically benefited from so far: improved sleep quality. I mean, it is stupid deep sleep. Whether I get 4 hours or 8 hours, I feel rested, and that is huge for me. Positive mindset shifts. I'm not as easily overwhelmed. I'm just noticing some of these things, and these are for many people, but these first two, especially for me. I don't have blood sugar issues, thank you, Lord, but we do see huge effects. In fact, the FDA has now approved us to be able to say that we help balance blood sugar with this system. Do you know how hard that is to get approved? So that's really exciting. Reduced fasting insulin and hemoglobin A1C numbers. Wow, that's awesome. So this thing does work because it's helping your body. It's working with your body's design to function and heal optimally. All right. See. Okay, just a few I thought I changed out. I did change out one of these. Something else I want you guys. Oh, maybe on the next slide. Just a few pictures, just visuals. What I really want you to focus in on is the stomach gut area on these. For most of these people in these pictures, that typically is the hardest area to lose because many times we've got cortisol, stuff going on there, inflammation. But look at their tummies. Like this first one, this is her 6-week comparison. And she says, I'll have to get down where I can read it. She says, when she started in mid-August, she struggled with bloating, postpartum, weight loss issues, low energy, and lack of sleep. And 6 weeks later, down 10 pounds, 5 inches, energy's up, amazing sleep. I can now keep up with my 1-year-old. That's awesome. And then the lady in the middle, you can really see the difference in the inflammation and the visceral fat area in her tummy. Big loss there. And I don't remember how far into things that she was. This lady on the right, she says, I'm screaming. I finally broke my plateau. I was among the first to use this 30-day GLP-1 system, and my mind is blown. Here are my results. I'm down 5.2 pounds, 8.25 inches, 1.4% body fat. My lean muscle is up 0.2%, and I'm 2 years younger in my metabolic age. Pretty awesome, huh? And this guy, tummy's going down big time. You can see like his chin area, a little more neck area, a little more chiseled than it was to begin with. And the lady in the mirror, in the mirror, in the center, you can see again the tummy area just, and that's where she carries her weight is more in her tummy. And usually where we carry the weight and we want to lose it the most, we lose last, right? So that's really exciting. This one on the far right is one of my favorites because it wasn't not only some weight loss, but major inch loss. She says, I cannot even begin to say how incredibly excited I am. And it's only week 2. The pounds have finally started to move. This tickles me. Week 2, and the pounds have finally started to move. We're such an immediate gratification world, aren't we? And the inches just keep melting away. I'm down 2.4 pounds and 13.25 inches. I chose these 2 photos because you can really see the difference. I also have to talk about the mindset or mind aspect of the system. I have 0 brain fog and feel so focused. I've always had a positive outlook on life, but this feeling is different. I can't explain it. And I hearted out the person's name. But she says, I remember blank telling us during the trial that she said she just feels different but can't explain it. And this is exactly what I'm feeling. I can't describe it, but I feel incredible. 0 food noise. And if you're not familiar with that term, it's like where food is always on the brain. When are we eat next? What am I going to have to eat next? Is there going to be food there? It's like everything centers around food in the mind. And she says, 0 food noise. My water intake is on point, and my nutrition is mostly from God's great garden. Super excited to stay the course and see what the next week brings. All right. So I just wanted to share a few of those. Now let's get into a little bit of the science behind this system. Sorry, y'all, I've been talking a whole lot today. Okay. Okay, and again, there's that little tag, take it to make it. So we take the mind body GLP-1 system to make it GLP-1. The science behind the system, better wellness starts with the mind body connection. GLP-1 levels naturally decline and hunger signals increase due to age, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle as well, stress, and other lifestyle factors. Excuse me, our environment, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we take in disrupts our gut. This can cause cravings, false hunger, and weight gain. The MB-GLP-1 system boosts your GLP-1 to reduce appetite, food cravings, and the urge to eat, commonly referred to as food noise. The graphic on the opposite side, I put this here because it shows what the two products do. And I just want to note that when they were working on this, I'm talking about the lab, doing the research and all the things, our science department, they first started out with like 4 to 5 products. And they were like, oh my gosh, we've got to narrow this down. Nobody's going to take that many products. And I was so excited that they got it down to 2 products because I'm not going to take 4 or 5 things like that. Yeah, I'm sure you aren't either. We're too busy for all that. So dual activation, and what that means is mind-body GLP-1 system directly activates the GLP-1 pathway, which is in your L cells. The L cells are in your colon. The greatest concentration of those lie in your sigmoid colon, which is right before the rectum. And then in the ileum of the small intestine, we have a great concentration of these L cells, but they are all throughout the colon. This is where it's actually produced. And then indirectly, this system activates GLP-1 by optimizing that gut microbiome. I'm sure all of you have heard all the stuff about our gut health that lasts 8 or 10 years, maybe. And it's so true. But it helps to create those short chain fatty acids and fuel production. So together, these two are powerhouse, and they do come as a unit because of that. You can't get the effects with one without the other. They do work together. And I know you're going to want to know. So the little bottle here, MB Core, those are capsules. And how the system works is you wake up in the morning, you take 2 capsules on an empty tummy, you wait 30 minutes before you eat or drink, except for water or black coffee. Super simple. If you're on thyroid medicine, you just take that, wait your 30 minutes, and then take your MB Core, wait your 30 minutes. Super simple. Now, the MB Enhance is actually a powder. It's very mildly flavored lemon. Where did that come from? Vanilla. And I put it in my coffee. It's like creamer. I love it. But you can use it as toppings. You can bake with it. You can put it in anything cold, anything hot. And I have a lot of clients that just put it in water. I mean, it's just very mildly flavored. So it's kind of like a mild vanilla flavored water. All right, just want to share a little bit about the system there. Now, as a nurse, and I know Lizelle's a PT, we like to see some proof on some things, again, because there's a lot of stuff out there, but is it good stuff? So in the human clinical trials, this kind of goes over like some of what the slide said earlier, but just to reiterate, 140% average increase in GLP-1 production. So they did pre-study lab, and then they did labs at 8 weeks and labs again at 12 weeks. And these were the numbers. And so again, 100% lost weight. I mean, that lost weight did not lose muscle. Up to 5% total body fat percentage was lost, and 27% of that visceral fat. I don't know if you can see at the bottom there, if I can enlarge it. Yeah, look at that. 82% took back control of their relationship with food. 95% had decreased sugar cravings. 96% chose smaller portions, 85% felt less hungry, 9% ate less at meals, and 85% now eat for health instead of emotions. So that's some good stuff there. Good information. I love that there's that human clinical trial, and it's because of that proof that this is a patent pending system. You can't get a patent on something that already exists. It has to be a new concept, a new thing, and be proven to work, not just he said, she said. Okay, on this slide, we talk a little bit about the system and how you subscribe with a stack. And I put this in here in this way because inevitably, when I send a client to get their system, they're like, well, what's this other thing? Well, what's this other thing? So I'm like, Lizelle, we're just going to share both of them, all 3 of them, so they can just kind of see the top system, the top 3 systems. So you've got your basic mind-body GLP-1 system at the top. And just like it says, it optimizes your own GLP-1 production up to 140% and the pathway via dual activation. And so it shows you what the customer fee is versus the retail fee there. And the next one below that is the healthy weight stack. And remember me talking about the Protandim NRF2 on the beginning a little bit and how it actually decreases cellular stress by 40% in 30 days. This pack has it in the stack with the MB GLP-1 system, and you pay so much less for you almost get the Protandim for free when you order it together. The bottom one is my personal favorite, and it's the one that my husband and I both use and many of my clients. It has the MBGLP-1 system in it, the Protandim, and the collagen. So that's the healthy glow stack is what they call it. And so many clients that are and people that were are in the Facebook group, and we'll share that with you as well, that are on this whole thing, they just seem to get results a little bit quicker. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm happy with it because I can tricky trot up and down the stairs in my house with no issue. I'm seeing little changes like that, and where my knees aren't bothering me and I'm moving quicker, more stamina. So that's pretty exciting. I go back to that healthy weight stack. Oh, I did mention that. Never mind how it reduces cellular stress. And then the bottom one, again, it increases your collagen density by 42 to 100% in 8 weeks. So your skin health, it's health on the outside and hydration as well, but health on the inside. And let's go here to this next one. And I've had people ask, can I get it any cheaper than that? That is possible. If you want to enroll as a consultant, you actually save $20 over that $179.99. You get it for $159.99. So that is also an option. And if anybody's interested in that, we can tell you more about that. There's not a lot of hoopla with it, but there's a little basic thing that goes with it. So basically, we have been in a sellout situation, and but they're getting in front of that now. In fact, we are 2 weeks ahead of schedule of getting our next batch in. You see there at the bottom, we launched this system on October 11th and sold out completely, all 50,000 units in 13 days. Tell me this is not necessary. Tell me people aren't looking for something that is proven that works. I mean, there it is right there. So we've placed Lizelle's link right here. Feel free to screenshot that, or we can text it to you, however you want to do that. But the coolest part about this system is that it does work with your body, and it's doing more than helping you to lose weight. We're seeing people getting off of ADHD medications such as Adderall, Vyvanse, anti-anxiety drugs, that they're just not needing these things because of the way the mind is shifting. So those are huge wins. Motivation, less procrastination, less overwhelm, less sad. And yeah, losing weight, visceral fat especially. So that's all pretty exciting. Let's see, I think I was going to turn this next part over to you, Miss Lizelle, and we'll get to questions and all here shortly, y'all.
Okay, I had to find the unmute button, so yes, so thank you, Lisa. That was so informative, and I think I just get more excited every time I hear you talk about this. So basically, your options are you can purchase it as a retail customer, which that'll be $199 per month, but you can also subscribe, which will bring it down to $179 per month. I thought I want to go do the Starbucks analogy per day, right? But we won't go there. But I'm definitely in. And then there is an even cheaper way to do it if you sign up as a consultant, which basically just means you can make a business out of it if you want to and some commissions, but you don't have to sell or you don't have to make a business out of it. It just allows you to purchase at wholesale then, which would be $159 per month. So there's several different options. And if y'all are interested to give this a try, you can always call up here to Tula or text me if you have any questions, and I can help you navigate the decisions around that. But the company do recommend that we try and stick with it for 12 weeks, just because this is not a synthetic magic bullet. You're basically giving your body the tools it needs to produce the GLP-1 for itself so you can get all those benefits. So Yeah, and then on that, if you'll go back to that option one slide, Lisa, um, I think it was, yeah, right there. Yeah, there's just another little testimony that I found, and the things that stand out for me that makes me want to try it is getting rid of the food noise, like Lisa said, just thinking about, the cravings, the sugar cravings, and just getting rid of those hunger pangs and just thinking about food. So that is an issue for me, and I think for a lot